Hey everybody, it's Michelle Glover with Batter and Bowl Bakery, and today we are baking a Southern favorite, our traditional Southern butter rolls. Please join us. Hey everybody, it's Michelle Glover with Batter and Bowl Bakery, and today we are making a traditional favorite that has been in our family forever. We call it since the family crest, but it is our traditional Southern butter roll. This is a dessert that our grandmother used to make, my maternal grandmother used to make at any meal basically throughout the week, and it's a very simple sweet dessert that you can add to any meal or to any wine or just to have by itself. But I want to show you how we make it. It's real quick, it's real simple, and we're going to get into the ingredients now. So we're going to start with a simple pastry roll that we're going to use. We're going to use butter, milk, sugar, nutmeg, and that's it. It's very simple ingredients. So we're going to start now, and we'll walk you through how we make this great Southern traditional dessert. All right, let's get started. So in front of you right now, that I have in front of me actually, is on a cutting board that has a crescent roll of dough that I bought from the refrigerator section of the grocery store. And I'm going to pause here. For those of you who have seen my videos in the past, I always commend those who still want to do it old fashioned and old school like our grandmothers, and knead and roll your dough out. Hey, more power to you. I think it's a great thing. My grandmother was superb at it. She rolled fresh dough every morning to take care of her family, my grandfather, and all of her children. But today, for modern day and simplicity, this recipe is going to work just fine by just going in your refrigerator section in the grocery store and getting the crescent roll dough and just roll it out. So what I'm going to do is add a little bit of flour to it, because I am going to be moving it around a little bit. And so I want to put a little flour on it to make sure that it kind of stays in place and doesn't break while I'm rolling things around. Okay. So you can just use a little bit of flour there to just kind of cover it. I have some on the bottom of the cutting board that I already put down. So that just makes things a little bit easier for you to move around. The first thing we're going to do is start with a stick of butter. So we're going to take one stick of butter, and we are going to spread that butter all over this pastry. So I'm going to dump it there and get a spatula, and we're just going to take the back of that spatula and just spread the butter. Like I say, you got to be a little careful here to spread that butter, and you can always use your fingers, but you want to spread that butter as much as you can all over this pastry. And again, you need that butter to be at room temperature so that you can do this a lot easier. If your butter is not at room temperature and not spreadable, you can always cut it into squares and do the same thing. But I just found it easier to move your pastry around and roll it evenly when you're able to just spread that butter all over your pastry. And that's what I'm doing. It's fairly easy, but again, you want to be careful. You got your pastry dough here and you don't want it to break. So I'm just spreading it. Every little corner of your pastry should be covered. So there you have it. And then to this, you're just gonna take a little bit there and just kind of spread it. Okay, to that, you're going to add a cup of sugar. So I have a cup here, and I'm going to sprinkle it generously over your butter roll, just like this. Now, this recipe can range from a good cup to a cup and a half. It really depends on how much pastry you have. This one is rather small, so I doubt that I even need a cup of sugar. If I can get down to about half of cup, it'll be just fine. But again, this is raw pastry. It's raw dough, so you need to Make sure that it is as sweet as you can get it. So that's about a half a cup of sugar there. And then you're going to take nutmeg and you're going to sprinkle generously nutmeg all over this pastry from one end to the other. And cover as much as you can. I'm going to say that's about 2.5 to 3 teaspoons of nutmeg. And what you're going to do then is slowly roll your dough. So I'm going to start this roll here. And you're just going to be as gentle as you can, but get a good start with it. And you're just going to slowly roll your dough. Okay? This one is a little tight. I like to roll my dough as tight as I can possibly get it, only because when you put it in your pan to bake, it is going to expand. So you want to be sure that you have enough room when you expand it. So there we have it. I'm just going to turn it here so you guys can see what I'm doing. But I've rolled this pastry really good. I'm going to pinch the sides a little bit to kind of keep things intact. And then what I'm going to do next is take a little bit more of butter, and I have a little bit on my spatula here, and we're going to spread that on top of your roll. I'm just going to use my finger here to get that. Now that was a little butter. I could always unwrap a little bit more of this. I had 2 sticks of butter here. I'm just going to take a couple of tablespoons, maybe 2. And we're going to take that butter, just kind of spread it there and spread it all over your roll. This is a very rich, very buttery type of dessert. I'm just using my fingers here. It's just a little easier because I don't want to break my roll. Okay. So you have it there. My hands are a little messy. I'm going to rinse them really quickly. Okay, now that we have our roll rolled up really well with our sugar, nutmeg, and butter, and we've slathered butter pretty much on top of this roll, we're going to then take a little bit more sugar, and we're going to sprinkle sugar all on top of that roll. Okay. And to that, you're going to do the same thing with your nutmeg. You're going to sprinkle nutmeg on top as well. Same thing you did on the inside, you're doing on the outside. Okay? All right. We're going to take a knife and we're just going to cut it into small cuts of a roll. And you're going to do it as gently as you can, not to unroll all of your work that you've done. So I'm just going really slow here, making sure I cut through all of the roll. Take your time. There's no rush, but you want to be precise. I'm going to move this around a little bit and cut your rolls. There is no uniform way of doing this. You just want to be sure that you have clear cut rolls that can separate. From there, we're going to add this to a foil pan. That's what I'm going to use today. And we're going to set it up so it can go in the oven. Okay, as you can see, we have divided the butter roll into smaller chunks. I've set them in a tinfoil pan right side up. We're going to add 2 cans of carnation evaporated milk with 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. We're going to then put that in the oven at 350 degrees for 45 minutes. Let's see what happens. All right, so we're back, and after 350 degrees, this is hot. After 350 degrees for about 45 minutes, you can see there that you have these delicious brown butter rolls that have a nice little milk sugary gravy that's floating in the bottom there. So I've allowed this to sit after it came out of the oven for about 5 minutes. It gives your cream that's in the bottom of the pan a little time to kind of soak in and settle in. So I'm going to plate one now so I can show you what it looks like. So I'm just going to dig one out here. See if we can get it. And you're just going to plate it. And I'm going to put a little bit of cream, if I can get it. Hold on. I'm going to add a little cream to the top or around the edges of this. As you can see here, and I'm going to get close so you guys can see it. I'm just going to pinch right into it. As you can see, there's a crunchy top to it and a very gooey and soft filling at the bottom. This is so delicious and so easy for you to pull together for your family. It can go with any meal. It's a quick dessert. So there you have it, our traditional butter roll. If you like this recipe or like to see others that we make, please subscribe to our channel at Batter and Bold Bakery TV. Thank you.